Is a new Social Awkward with Evan Wecksell, and I feel like I'm talking to me of 2 years ago because this is someone running for state senate in California, advanced as a write-in, and could be the next state senator in a very important district in all of California. Kristina Irwin, how's it going on this Friday?
Great. Thank you, Evan. And I wanted to just mention will be the next state senator.
Oh, that was the test.
Keyword.
That was the test right there. You passed. And lovely necklace.
Thank you.
So I guess I want to start because this is gonna be a little different because I was in your position 2 years ago. You've made it amazing because I finally looked up how it went for you as a write-in to make it to the general. But when did this all start? Like, where were you a year ago? Was this even on your radar, or were you like, was stuff percolating? Like, what was going on here?
Yeah, I knew I had to get involved. So as a mom, as a parent, we sit on the sidelines and we go, wow, I can't believe this is happening. What can I do? And so, life got in the way, the kids, the job. And I'm like, put it on the sideline, back burner, whatnot. Then finally, when the COVID, the whole thing with COVID happened, the illegal shutdowns, the unconstitutional lockdowns, all that happened. I got a glimpse of what my kids were actually being taught in school, which is Zoom school.
Right.
So first of all, I have to tell you, my sixth grader at that time, he actually went from a straight A student to being happy, socially motivated, looking forward to school. He went into seventh grade completely depressed, unmotivated, was like, I don't even need to learn. So from A's to straight F's, it was unbelievable. And then seeing what my daughter was learning also at that time was in third grade. She was learning about the indoctrination of, just grooming kids into that agenda. And I just couldn't believe it. So that's when I stepped up and I ran as a write-in only because I was 5 signatures short and at the deadline when I went to the elections office and they said, oh no, you're done. You're done.
Yeah.
Better luck in 4 years. And I said, no, this is going to happen for me. And this is going to happen right now because my state needs me. And I ran as a write-in and got nearly 6,300 votes.
That's amazing. Now, so how many signatures did you need to like get on the ballot? Like, what were you going for? Like 1,000?
No, only 40. I had 69 signatures. Apparently only 5 were deemed, either people moved away or they didn't know which district they were in because of the redistricting. Sometimes, names do get dropped off the registration, which is the weirdest thing. So I've had people come up to me. They're like, that's not true. I am registered.
Yeah.
But then the county recorder's office said you're not. So that's kind of what happened. That was the hiccup.
Right. So you basically said, I'll do a write-in. And so a lot of people already knew, like, was there traction or like more importantly, like why state senator? Because obviously people in your position, as you've met, like, Julie Hamill, or other, I forgot her name from Let Them Breathe. They're running as school board for their school board in their community. Why did you feel state senator was where you needed to go?
Because this is where the legislative process is, where you write the bills. It's where you make a decision. It's where you make an impact. This is where, you say yay or nay on these bills. And I feel like with the Democrats in supermajority, we don't have a chance unless someone like me gets in there, a non-career politician, someone who's not out of touch, someone who's actually here. My kids go to school at LAUSD. I've been here since the beginning of this, when the schools were closed and, there was the protests and the rallies and the don't wear the mask and the take the vaccine and then don't take the vaccine. So I've been here at the forefront and I feel like I would be the best voice to represent my constituents.
Were there just no other candidates just wanted to step up? It was just like it was going to be Ben Allen going unopposed, or how? I know there was someone that ran against you as a write-in, but I mean, you destroyed them by like 30 times.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. Because that's probably the highest write-in in the state, I'm assuming, after that happened.
In the history of LA County, if not the state, correct.
Yeah.
It's great.
How did it become you were the one? It just lined up that way?
I think it just lined up. The moon, the stars, everything was aligned. Parents are upset, and rightfully so, with what's been happening. And my opponent has been, like I said, I mean, I call him an out of touch elitist, which is exactly what he is. He's a career politician, in bed with these developers, deep pockets, going to all these corrupt organizations. And people have had enough. Regular people, everyday people. I mean, it comes to a point where it's like, do I pump gas for my car to go to work, or do I feed my children and go to the grocery store? So when you are in a crisis mode like this, people really get upset. And so he's been running unopposed for 2 terms for 8 years until I stepped in. Yeah. Nobody ran against him.
And I think now then here's the bigger question then, knowing what the split of registered voters are in California, and I'm sure in your district too, like how do you not scare people off because, oh no, you have an R, how dare you? or why not just be like a dino, or why was it this way, or how do you feel you can flip it this way in your
because
district?
I am you. I'm a small business owner. I'm a real estate agent. I am a mom to 3 kids. Like I said, I'm an immigrant. And so, and being a woman. And so I don't look like the typical Republican, and I am a constitutional conservative, which means I believe in freedom. My whole platform is about freedom, less government, less taxes. We don't want government intruding into our lives and trying to be the parents for our children. We don't want that. So that's the platform that I'm running in.
And what have you gotten like most from voters? Like what have people been like telling you, like what have their grievances been, but also like how is it lined up, or are there other issues you've come in contact with along the way? They're like, oh, okay, I'll look into that more. Like what have you seen as you've circulated throughout your district?
Again, it comes to the kid issue. It's all about the kids, because right now with all these laws being passed, and there's a couple that Gavin Newsom that are literally on his desk that my opponent voted yes on, which is completely asinine. And it comes down to our kids. You can come for me, fine. Some people will fight it, some won't. But you come for our children, and this is where we stop. And it's not about, it transcends party lines. I've had Democrat moms come up to me and say, thank you for standing up to us. Thank you for this. I've had independents. I've had people that haven't voted before because they said, you know what, I give up. It doesn't matter. It's all rigged. And they came up to me and they're like, if you could do this as a write-in, there is hope. You can turn things around and you can help save our children. And that's what I'm here to do.
Have you had any interest in debating? Do you think there will be a debate?
I would love to debate Ben Allen, but I've had people come up to him, and apparently they've been calling his office, and he's been ignoring the calls. He won't debate because, let me tell you, Evan, the only thing he has to go on is his voting record, and it's pretty clear, that the voters aren't happy with that in the way that he's been voting. So if he comes after me, it's going to be what? That I'm a mom and a woman and an immigrant. That's not good.
I just feel like has there been any debating going on even in any race? Like I feel like if you're a D, or even if you're like a heavy favorite, it's like, why do I need to debate? It's like I just cruised in. Like they have to be the underdog and have to get known. Have you had is there like a team around you? Do you find that there's like other like mom volunteers or people like how's the momentum being generated?
Yes to all the above. The mom volunteers have been great. It's the moms group on the social media. It's the moms groups in real life. It's my kids' moms. It's been fantastic. Plus, of course, I have a team. It's been really hard. I just got the yard signs, and they've been a little slow with that, but that's really been great. So we're going to have to, make that big announcement. So the momentum's been literally, let's just say I haven't been sleeping. So the momentum has gone from here, and then it peaked down a little bit, and now it's sky high. So I'm tired, but I'm at the finish line, and I'm just ready to go. I'm ready for this.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely had my run. I had a few nights where I'm like, I can't sleep. I'm too jacked. So it's like, I just want to, and I want to share. I'm going to share the tab that has your district on it. This is probably. It seems like if you're moving to LA or California, these are the places they sing about in the Weezer songs, or they sing about in emo bands or hip hop. Like these are the places, like down in Ranchos Palos Verdes, Redondo Beach, Manhattan Beach, Marina del Rey, Santa Monica, WeHo, a lot of LA, Calabasas. Like this is a phenomenal district to represent.
Yes. Yes, it's great. And actually, it's been redistricted. So it used to be District 26. Now it's District
Right.
24. So what we've gained in this is Calabasas, Malibu, Agora Hills, Westlake Village. I think we've gained Palos Verdes, Rancho Palos Verdes, if I'm not mistaken. Everything else has remained the same.
Right. It just like, have you crossed paths with like some of the more like public influential names of California as you've done this? Because
Yeah.
you have Hollywood, or you have opinion leaders that are living in these places.
Yeah.
Where could you get the word out to them, or have anyone gone public yet? Will they plan to, or anything in the horizon, you think?
Yeah, I think so, definitely, as the momentum keeps going, for sure. I mean, I've gotten a lot of endorsements. If you see my website, a lot of public
Yeah.
figures, social media influencers, a lot of people have been very, a lot of people have been afraid to say that they're Republican, and that's not a dirty word.
Right.
The thing that it is it's a freedom-loving, leave us alone, less government, less taxes. I mean, you have the Democrats voting, no on repealing the gas tax. They're voting yes on all these bad bills for the kids. It's just like the Democrat Party. I've had people come up to me say that party has left me. So we
Right.
welcome them to this party. I mean, if this is what the new Republican Party is going to look like, that's great. That's what we're about, freedom.
Have you had other like elected officials that have helped you along the way, or that you've kind of looked to see like, okay, this is how it's going to have to get done if you're going to advance when you will be state senator? Like, do you have some of those mentors? Or
Yeah, the former county board of supervisors for the 5th district, Mike Antonovich, he's been great.
okay.
He's actually going to be a keynote speaker at one of my events coming up, so I look forward to
Oh
that.
yeah, I was trying to hunt him down because he ran against Portantino in 2016, I think. And then my hope was to run against him in 2020. Let me give this may not be the event, but I'm going to share.
That's the one.
This is the event.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for you guys, that's the link. And it sounds like it's a Malibu chef. So go for that. And yeah. And it's what has he told you? Like, cause he's more like, he's pretty retired. I assume he's kind of like just, helping in an advisory role as you can, but what kind of things has he said, act this way or answer this way, or just stay on point with the message?
Stay
Like,
on
what
point
kind of
with the message, and just get him with the voting, with his votings, with his voting record, basically.
And what have you learned from like just campaigning in general? Because, I think is it real estate that you
Yes.
do?
Yes.
And then, so how do you kind of like just put that all to side? Do you kind of like multitask? I'm going to show a property, but I'm also going to hand out a sign or anything. How do you balance that?
Exactly. And then the husband and the kids. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I do. I mean, I love to say that I am a multitasker. I'm a leader by nature, so it does come easy. There are times, like I said, where I haven't slept. So, but once you've had the caffeine pumping through your veins and you're ready to go, and it's the motivation. It's just like getting those text messages from people like, "Hey, can I get a yard sign? Hey, good job on this." And you're like, "Okay," and so you just have to be organized. You have to prioritize, like maybe I'll give 2 hours to real estate and then I'll do the rest. But I do like to condense them, so if I'm talking to somebody and they're my friend, I do let them know, hey, listen, I'm running for this and that. So it's basically just being social and just getting the word out there any way you can.
Do you deal too much then with a lot of the issues in California? Like, they talk about crime, they talk about homelessness. Like, do you see ways those things can be solved or mitigated? Like, what have you taken out of it so far from what you've seen?
Yeah, well, in terms of the homelessness issue, I mean, that can definitely be addressed and we can solve it. Probably not 100%, but we can do our best. I mean, there's been pilot programs that have been going great and they've been going strong in Rhode Island. There's one in Texas where it's basically like, if you want to call it a mental facility, a wellness facility, it's a medical triage. You can repurpose old buildings, malls, and make a rehab clinic on one level, and then maybe a vocational clinic on another, and substance abuse, and basically kind of it's all intertwined. So you can't, it's not like a Band-Aid. Some people have mental issues. Fine, we're going to take them to the clinic and treat them with appropriate medicine and with physicians and psychiatrists. Some people actually have substance abuse problems. So we go and we take them to rehab, and we help them integrate back into society. And then I would like to propose a vocational kind of program where, again, not just when you're feeling better, you're out in society, but you have no address, you have no skills. So let's get them going. Let's get them to be, mechanics or whatever they want to do. Let's have that available for them while they transition into getting integrated back into society. So that's one plan for homelessness. One other plan that I have would be, and it's kind of a twofold, for reducing crime, because nobody talks about the foster kids. They are fostered out at 18, and where do they go? Either jail or on the streets.
Right.
So it's kind of a twofold problem. I mean, everything touches a little bit on each other. Then you have the crime. It's really hard when George Gascon, our lawless DA, has not been recalled, which, by the way, my opponent said no on that recall, which is shocking to me, because, again, it goes across all party lines. People want to feel safe. They want to have quality of life. They want to feel safe when going to the store. So for crime, my whole thing is, you have to be strict on the crime. You have to deter these criminals, not make the criminals into the victims.
Right. Now, let's fast forward, your state senator, and it's like, making sure that, what would be like a few of your like first bills you would introduce? Because my thing was like, it's almost like it does more good, almost like repeal old bills than to like create new ones.
Right. Well, that's a whole nother process, repealing Prop 47. I mean, it can be done.
What does Prop 47
Prop
say?
47 is the one where the criminals, basically, if you steal 950 or below, you don't go to jail. You get kind of a slap on the wrist, like, hey, don't do that. And then they're back out doing it again. And people are wondering what's going on. So that, it's harder to amend bills. It's harder to repeal. It can be done. It takes some time, of course, and some forethought. But some of the things I would like to propose is, obviously stricter, being tough on crime. Like, what was that old one that we had before that was 3 strikes bill? Something similar to that, because we need deterrence. We need to be holding these criminals accountable, not letting them loose because of, social justice. There is no social justice when the criminals will rob anybody they see. That's not how it works.
And how have you been? I know the big thing this legislative season was there were like 10 bills from the vaccine work group. I think 6 died. 4 on his desk. So far, 2 have been signed, 2 to be determined.
It's unbelievable.
1 we really don't want to be signed for the sake of doctors being directed how to doctor. Ben Allen, part of SB 277, that was his thing. He got rid of the religious exemption.
The year that he got into office, or maybe it was even a year after he got into office, he co-authored that with Senator Pan.
Oh yeah,
who's not a favorite among parents.
now Pan's leaving. He's pretty much out, and I think this would be Ben only would have like 1 term left if anything happens. So the one thing I heard about, man, this is all secondhand, so this is just rumor, but like that he doesn't jab his kids,
right?
But also that he thought Pan was taking it overboard with future bills, but he still voted for it.
Oh yeah, you got to keep the big developers happy. You got to get that money in your pocket.
What do you think a day in the life of Ben Allen is? Do you think he just has like he's dragged into like dark rooms day after day saying you're going to do this, you're going to do that, or
I try not to. I try not to think about it. I don't want to give him the time of day. I mean, I'm here. Okay. I'm obviously the right choice if you want to see this district back on track.
Right. Awesome. What has it been like? Like you ran into who have been you ran to RFK one time, RFK Jr.
Yes.
With that, so he knows that you were doing what you're doing and he was behind it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Any other fun folks you've run into along the way?
Absolutely.
Name dropping.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. I mean, just to name a few, Rod Stewart, John Voight. I mean, they've all been fantastic. I've reached out to Scott Baio, so hoping he'd get back to me.
Yeah.
Kevin Sorbo. Yeah. I mean, the list goes on and on. So, just living in LA, we get the pleasure of just literally going out for coffee and seeing a celebrity. And lo and behold, they line up with the views of common sense and freedom. So it's been great.
Has the state GOP helped or the LA County GOP? Have they?
Yes, the GOP,
Yeah.
California GOP, and the LA GOP has been helpful, and they have endorsed me. So I'm thankful for that, as well as CRA, California Republican Assembly.
Okay. And how was your appearance then? I know Jennifer Horn in the morning show.
Yes.
They were good to you?
They were amazing, as usual, yes. And I'm actually going to be October 4th at the candidates dinner with AM 870 Jennifer Horn and Grant Stenchfield
Oh,
over
wow.
in Fullerton.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
They played my recall song, so they're good. They like I messaged her time to time. She'll eventually be on here.
Yes.
If when you get on those TV interviews and they're like, so Kristina, what are you streaming right now? Like, what are your shows? Like, has there been anything recent that going off the political
Yes.
line of questioning? What has been recent, or what is something you've been meaning to get to?
Oh man, I am waiting so patiently, but I'm kind of shaking because I'm so excited for the finale of The Walking Dead, I have to say.
Oh,
yeah.
One more season?
Yeah, one more season and it's gone. But I have been, trying to keep up with, I just finished Sopranos, so that was great. So that
the original?
Yeah, I'm a little behind, but that was fun.
No, okay. Yeah, I'm on season 2 of The Office, so
okay,
little by little.
Yeah.
Any like hobbies? Where would we see you like having we'd be having campaign events at bowling alleys or shooting ranges? Where would you, if you could choose more recreational events, what kind of things would you?
I will go wherever I'm welcomed. And sometimes people tell me I'll even go where I'm not welcomed. So those are all fine and great. I mean, coffee, again, I'm anywhere to coffee house. So I urge people to go to my website and check under events and coming soons.
And finally, with schooling, yes. What have you seen? Like, cause you mentioned something about, when districts get into like, indoctrination, or maybe just like it's like a slanted type of grading. Like, what is that? Like, what have you heard from parents and teachers? Like, when we grew up, we're from the same, cause I was reading your website. We both were young when the Challenger blew up. Yeah. We were in high school when the OJ trial, which is one of its own.
Yeah.
And like, how is education, I guess, changed? I guess, what are you hearing? What are parents saying? Like that maybe we don't know about in LA, or even private school. I mean, I don't know.
It's going off the rails. It's literally, to quote Ozzy Osbourne, it's a crazy train. I mean, like I said, it goes beyond party lines. These parents, myself included, we are beyond livid. Basically, it's like every day you wake up and you're like, what now? What is happening now in our school system? I mean, you have, my kid's teacher the other day was talking about, oppression and what happened with George Floyd. And my son's like, this happened 2 years ago. No one cares. And then another class, they were doing some game called Kahoot or whatever it is for English class. And the kid is a Mexican. He's a Mexican American. And he put it, you were supposed to put in your nicknames, and he put his name, we'll just call him Jose, Jose the gardener. And the teacher, and it's just for fun because these are kids. And this teacher went up to him and she said, you know what, I'm offended. And he said, why are you offended? He said, my dad's a gardener and I like gardening with him. He's a landscape artist. Why are you offended? And it was just, it's like the teachers, I don't know what they're being taught by the teachers' unions. I'm not blaming all teachers because we love our teachers, but when it comes to the unions, it's like they keep pushing this indoctrination, of the LGBTQ, the groomers, listen, I don't know where to even start. I mean, I can go back to where my youngest, like I said, in 3rd grade at that time of COVID, was watching Brain Pop. And you have Fauci on there as a cartoon. He's like, hey, kids, don't worry about your parents. Go get the vaccine. It's not an ouchie because Fauci says so, or something ridiculous like that. Don't listen to your parents.
For Fauci.
It's crazy. And I mean, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And with these bills that Gavin Newsom is signing, where the kids can get hormone replacement therapy, they can get, their private parts cut off because they feel like a unicorn or whatnot. It's asinine, and it's like an upside down world. We need to get back to the basics. Kids are kids. Let the kids go to school to learn English, reading, writing, math. I'd like to also propose that they learn financial literacy, learn how to do the stock market, how to read the S&P, balance a checkbook, all these things that they need to learn. And instead, they're being taught about feelings, about oppression if you're white, and if you're Black, it's this, that, and if you're, Hispanic, it's crazy. They need to just let kids be kids and let parents teach the kids.
And with grooming, like where's the line? I mean, obviously it's perfectly okay to have like a gay teacher, lesbian teacher, even trans teacher. It's okay to have that. But where does the grooming start? Is it just something where it's like, is it the one where you're taking the kids to the drag show?
Oh, well,
or you're having like a reader come into the school?
Listen, it doesn't matter what you are, but you don't need your sexual orientation. You don't need that brought to the attention of the children. The children don't care. They don't care if you're married and you're gay or straight. Nobody cares. Keep that private life private. That's why it's called private. And when you're out there and, you're taking kids to drag shows, I mean, that's just asinine. There's no rhyme or reason for it other than grooming. For what? I don't know, but it's definitely something sinister.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So where can we find you? Let's get your, I mean, I've been showing the captions, but
thank you. My cities.
Websites.
Yes.
What are the events coming up?
So go to my website at Kristina Irwin. So it's just my name, Kristina with a K, Irwin, IRWIN, KristinaIrwin.com. And you'll see the events tab.
Okay, great. And lots of, let me just I will show the endorsements one more time, just so you guys know. Yes. She's doing the work. So let me just give you guys this as we go go down here. Yeah. Lots of people are behind you. Oh, you got Lou Ferrigno. There you go.
Yeah, I got the bishop, Juan Carlos Mendez. I have the rabbis. I mean, these are all wonderful.
Roxanne's great.
These are all wonderful people. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, great. If I lived in your district, I'd be right there.
Thank you.
But I have to decide. I don't know who I don't even know who my people are. But anyway, thank you so much for taking this time. It's greatly appreciated. There's much less weirder podcasts than mine, and but I tried to be as normal as I could be.
Well, thank you, Evan. I appreciate the time, and a great name, like I said, by the way.
That's right. We are an elegant type. So best wishes, and let's hit this hard.
Thank you so much. November 8th, vote Kristina Irwin.